Okay, alright. Jet is not a terrorist. Guys, come on. He's just that much of a demon on the track. I'm a Jet main. Hey, what's good, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to the story mode. So, I have spent even more time with Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Big shocker, right? What a surprise that I've been playing this game more since the last time I talked about it. Wow. No, I'm absolutely in love with this game. I genuinely adore it. I love what it's got to offer, and right now, there is the Miku event happening, right? Now, here's the thing. Completed that. We could talk more about, like, event stuff down the line, but I will say, after completing it, I kind of just was done playing online for the time being, right? I just kind of went back to doing any of the single player content that I didn't finish up. I have a lot of music to unlock. But that got me thinking, right? There's a couple of fun new mechanics that I would love to see implemented into Sonic Racing Crossworlds. And when I say mechanics, you know, I'm not really talking about like the super hyper technical stuff in the racing sense of like, you know, how gadgets work or anything like that. No, that's totally fine. There is one or two things on here like that, but for the most part, it's just little tiny things that I think would make the experience a little bit more enjoyable, right? And I would love to hear your guys' ideas because I'm sure you heard mechanics and there are things that you would love to see fixed, added, or changed in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and for now jump into my list of mechanics that I would like to see implemented into Crossworlds. Now this is gonna be the biggest one because I feel like there would have to be a conversation about this one. Because of how all of the different gear is implemented into this game, how these are implemented would have to be very specific, right? I was watching some Sonic Riders content the other day when I was editing because I needed footage, and I realized, you know, it would be really fun if we had bikes and skates as gear for Sonic Racing Crossworlds, right? Because I had completely forgotten that Shadow was able to utilize his skates, or like a unique style of Extreme Gear skates from Sonic Riders. And I think it would be so cool if we had a skate type in Racing Crossworlds, right? In the similar vein, you know, I say bikes primarily because, I mean, Shadow and the motorcycle go hand in hand, gang. It's literally a massive part of his... It was a massive part of his campaign. They had a motorcycle with his decals all over it, just ready to sell at a moment's notice because of how hand in hand they go, right? You can't really separate the two. And I think it would be really, really sick to be able to have motorcycles and skates as gear to utilize because... You know, as much gear as there is available, you know, I love everything that's here. Three of the different types are cars, right? And that's fine. But I mean, we could get a little more diverse if we had those other two styles implemented. And I think races could get really, really interesting. Now, the thing is with that, again, that would have to be a conversation because there would be a lot of balancing issues, especially because they would probably have to implement like two new types entirely, right? We have our speed type stuff, we have our power type stuff, we have our acceleration type stuff, and we have our boost type stuff, right? What would skates and motorcycles be, right? I mean, theoretically, we could just probably throw them in under one of the other categories, but I feel like it would be a lot more entertaining and fun if they got their own categories. So we would have to talk more about that, but I feel like that would be really, really fun. Maybe that's just me. Next to that, this is a more minor one because I feel like I want to design so many different like cars and presets and things like that, but there's only so many slots that you could save them in. Basically, I want a Fortnite-esque situation in which we can save or pre-save a bunch of different sets and they could be saved in their own merits, right? I want to be able to make an entire board, detail the hell out of it, and just keep it. I want to keep that as a preset so that when I'm going through the menu, when I want to change immediately into a certain car with a certain character that I like to use it with, I can just pick it right from the get-go. I don't have to go through hell and back to remember all the specifics to remake it, right? Not that it's a hard thing to do, but the fact that we have like slots at all for pre-mades, I feel like we should just open that up entirely and make it so that we have an entire like miniature openable roster, like an entire menu that we could just save presets on, because why not? right? And of course, you know, you can make it so that it could get full and we have to delete some, but I've seen so many interesting and fun customizations to people's cards, to their extreme gears and things like that, that I feel like it's criminal that we don't have a better way to save presets. Of course, you know, if I'm missing something, please feel free to tell me, but for the most part, I feel like it would be really, really beneficial if we had that, like, super in-depth menu to be able to save presets, so that we didn't have to go through the menu and remake our extreme gears or our cars every single time we wanted to use them, right? So that's kind of where I'm feeling with that. I think that would be super useful and really helpful, and we could get crazy with all the different customizations if we had something like that. Next to that, it's funny, you know what? I had two separate things on here, but these two things kind of go hand in hand, so I'm going to put them together, right? I really like the idea of these festivals because it gives us stuff to work towards, right? We have the Miku event right now, and we're unlocking... We unlocked a gadget that's really neat. We unlocked a bunch of decals. We unlocked titles. That's awesome. That's sick. We should have more of that, but on a lesser scale, right? Because in reality, this is basically a live service game at this point, right? They're going to be updating it. They're going to be giving us a bunch of content. We're going to be playing online for a time to come. We need to have stuff constantly to work towards, right? Because a lot of people are already really close or already have reached legend rank. So, I mean, you could go online and just continue playing and get to the highest possible legend rank available. But at the same time, you know, I feel like we should have more to work towards, which is why I really like the idea of these battle festival or these festival situations. And I want them to make that to a lesser scale on a regular basis as something for us to work towards. We should be able to get, like, every couple of months or something, right? I would be really happy if we got access to, like, random fun, like, titles and things like that were in reference to other games or to just other things even outside of the media and stuff like that, outside of the respective franchise. If we could get cosmetics out of that, because cosmetics need to be... We're going to have a full conversation about this probably in the next video, if I'm so honest. But we need to be able to unlock little cosmetics here and there for our characters, or for the characters. And I feel like the best way to do that would be to make a miniature scale battle pass with certain missions and things like that, right? Maybe some that makes us use certain builds, or makes us use certain gadgets, or makes us use certain characters, right? I think that would be good incentive to make it so that A, you know, we're continuously playing and actually unlocking stuff. B, it makes it so that we have to diversify how we play a little bit, right? Because if I'm honest, I make like one set and I'm usually good, right? I have my setups with either Jet or Sage, and I'm chilling. I'm hard chilling, right? And I don't think that's good. I don't think I should ever be in a situation in which I become complacent in a game like this, and I don't want to get bored, you know what I mean? I want to... and not that I'm saying I'm not going to go out of my way to try and customize more to, you know, fix that for myself, but I feel like I would be more incentivized to, and I feel like a lot of people would feel that same way if we had something to work towards, right? So, yeah, I guess something of a battle pass would be kind of useful in this situation, because, you know, there's just so much potential lying in wait here to be able to unlock stuff like that, that there's no reason not to implement something like that. So I just think it would just be overall beneficial to have access to a battle pass or a just miniature pass to unlock stuff over time until the next major event. Especially because I've been thinking about this a lot. What happens when we get all of the DLC characters? Are we going to get more? Or do we just not get any more festivals? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure we're going to get like a Pac-Man festival, a Mega Man festival, an Ichiban festival. You know, obviously we're going to have to redo the Joker festival, but like, what happens when we're all caught up on that? You know what I mean? So, yeah, we may as well put that entire mechanic to use and make it so that we have smaller passes on a smaller scale, so we have something to consistently work towards. That's how I'm feeling about that. This one is a little more specific, because I have been playing a little Marvel Rivals, and the new season's coming out soon with Daredevil, and there's a lot of interesting lore there. And I was thinking, it would be really, really neat if we could get, like, little comics that we can unlock here and there. You know what I mean? We need more stuff to spend our Dompa tickets on, honestly, and I feel like I wouldn't mind as much spending them on like little lore bits here and there of characters, of stuff we didn't know, or of like little fun, cute comics if they wanted to do something like that. I just think it would be super, super neat and super cute to be able to get little lore bits of characters of the world, or just little comics to read just for fun, you know? Maybe a little Halloween edition, because we're getting a Halloween... we're not getting anything Halloween related to my knowledge, but, you know, it's October, so it would be really, really cute to get like a little Halloween themed comic where, you know, Sonic and Shadow are goofing around, trick-or-treat, whatever. I think it would be really, really cute to get something like that, because I love the little lore bits that they implemented into Marvel Rivals to be able to tell the story that's going on in that game. I feel like we should be able to do something like that with Sonic Rivals as well. Maybe, you know, just more about King Dompa, or like how his technology works, or, you know, how, maybe a little comic about how invested Tails and Eggman are in that, because they had that little dialogue about it. I just think it would be cute. I think it would work really well, and I think it would be kind of worth spending Dompa tickets on, because, you know, we'll have these little things to read and talk about for time to come, you know, and maybe we could get little hints here and there eventually for, you know, other projects that are on the way. You know, I feel like it'd be really cute to have a little like lead-in comic, not lead-in per se, maybe not something that huge, but maybe like a little comic that could potentially hint towards something that could be important in Sonic Frontiers 2, or whatever that game ends up being titled. Because why not? You know, I just think that would be sick. So, yeah, I mean, anything added to this game that makes it so that we're spending more Dompa tickets, it means we're playing more. So, why not? You know, maybe you guys disagree with that, but you know, I'm really trying to get into the IDW comics right now. Cool as hell. I think it would be neat to have some more stuff like that. It'd be sick. So, some little digital comics. Why not? And, you know, this one's obvious. I already mentioned it. We're going to have a bigger discussion about this. But yeah, more cosmetics. That's so obvious. Like, we just need more cosmetics to actually buy. We need to open up the store a little bit here. We need to or open up an actual, like, general store. Actually, I just thought of a mechanic. Open up a general store, right? Open up a Dompa store where we could spend the tickets specifically so that we can have it, and it's getting updated consistently. We're getting more cosmetics in that store. We're getting more Extreme Gear parts and car parts that are just randomly updated in there, right? Kind of like Splatoon, how they give us like random new weapons every week and stuff like that. That just, why not? Just give us more to buy. That's not crazy, I think, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you could see like maybe the friendship thing as something of a store, but I think we should have an actual general store. Right? Instead of just having it so that we could buy from the menu right there and then and there when you're customizing your car, have a general store, have it a little more organized, and then we go from there. Makes sense to me? But I don't know. I'm sure they'll give us more gear to work with down the line, hopefully. So for now, we'll have to see how that plays out. But that's funny. I didn't mean to come up with that on the spot, but I'm sure that's something that people have talked about by now, right? But either way, that just about does it for all of the ideas that I had in regards to mechanics that I would love to see implemented into Sonic Racing Crossworlds. So, I don't know if you guys are feeling it, cool. But me personally, I think a lot of these things here could really, really help out. But, you know, I've said my piece, which is why the mic is going in your direction. And I want you to tell me everything that you're thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree that these mechanics could definitely help out your playtime? You think it would make the game a lot more interesting, give it a little bit more longevity, and you can see yourself playing a lot longer for a longer period of time if they were to implement these things? Or we don't think we need these things wouldn't be all that helpful, they're not that great, and we could live without them? Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, yes sir, it does appear to be Good Dad Look Lock. So I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye! Doing donuts in a bin. I stay funky. Battle goes wherever I am. I stay funky. I don't know who's ready to spit. Just know you're going down with my 58 clips. I stay funky. Honey's taking back to the crib. I stay funky. Get the club popped off like pins. I stay funky. I don't know.